righty, ladies. Well, I think it might be that time.
Okay.
What time is it?
Ask
your
aunties.
Hey. I know that's right.
I love y'all.
And this one comes from Dee Dee Hill. She says we can use her name. And it says, "Hey, aunties, question for you. Is there such a thing as too many chances when no boundaries have been violated? And this is in regard to a budding new relationship."
I'm gonna start off by saying I'm not saying shit because this is my sister. So this week it's just about you two.
Well, do we have any more I'm struggling with like the vagueness of this situation.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as too many chances when no boundaries have been violated? Like, well,
okay, so I will say this. I will say I can give a little context, but I give too much. Okay. There's a person that she's known for a while. There have never been any conversations about ever being exclusive or like officially saying this is where we're going or let's try to make something happen, but there's always been like that middle gray ground, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But she has been
saying too many chances of like you scooping me up.
Yeah, kind of, because like she has made efforts to try to like get some clarity, and then he's kind of like, okay, yeah, and then will fade back into that gray area. And so, yeah.
Dawon's face just said my answer too.
This, in my opinion, is an easy one.
Huh.
Girl, you got to let him go. You got to let him go. Don't be chasing somebody that ain't chasing you back.
Go ahead and free yourself. If you don't want me, you know nothing.
Don't want me, then don't talk to me. That was the jam.
Honestly, I just feel like, a person's time is so valuable, and the gift that you could be giving to somebody who can appreciate it is so valuable. Like this notion of like, if you're trying to make something work and it ain't working and you're starting to question, like, is it worth it? No, it ain't worth it. You could choose to, continue to pursue it, and, maybe through perseverance, you'll wear them down and whatnot. But then, who wants
worn down pain? Nobody wants a worn down pain.
Right, who wants to like go into a relationship where they acquiesce, and that's that just means they just give in, give up, give over, roll over.
Come on with the Dawon word of the day. We haven't done that in a while. The Dawon word of the day is acquiesce.
Acquiesce. But like, if at the end of the day, like in my view, there's something about the joy and the pride of two people coming together mutually to like, there's just mutual attraction, there's mutual like, interest and desire to like make it work. And if you're struggling with trying to figure out how to make it work, that's a different thing. But if this is a situation where it's like, sometimes you're in, sometimes you're out, maybe we're talking, or maybe, we're spending a little bit of time apart, and it's like this kind of like yin and yang kind of thing. In my opinion, there's not enough meat, like not enough attraction there, at least on one side to really make this thing happen. That if you end up in a relationship with this person, in my view, I would always be wondering, well, when is this person going to leave? Like I had to wear them down to get with me. Are they going to end up resenting me because now we're in a relationship that they really didn't want to be in? So then 5 months down the line, 5 years down the line, they're gonna be like, okay, I'm going out for a pack of cigarettes.
It never come back. It's like, I thought she was going to the 7-Eleven.
Like, we out of milk.
Right, we out of milk.
But wait, we vegans.
Right. No, I agree with you. Like, and here's the thing, like, it's so interesting sometimes how we tell on ourselves when we write certain questions or ask certain things because you know your boundaries don't been crossed. You said no boundaries been crossed. Yes, it has. Your time has been crossed. Like you already feel in your gut that he might not want you. And so you wanted to ask this question about no boundaries been crossed. Yes, it has, unfortunately. And it sucks. So like we've been there where you like, oh, I like this person. And they might not like you fully the way you need to be loved. And then, so if
you're trying to convince us,
you said too many chances. That's your answers. There ain't no one more chance. No more Biggie, give me one more chance. No, run because there's someone out there waiting for you right now, wishing for love, and you're their person. Mm-hmm. And you just hold up, waiting for this person to love you. So, I mean, that's kind of harsh, but in the long run, it's good because there's someone out there that's literally wanting you 1,000%, and they're not going to take too many chances. They're going to scoop your ass up the first chance they get because they know how much of a gem you are. And once you get that, you're going to be looking back at this like, I was tripping. Yeah. It's like, I was tripping. I had to ask my aunties, and at first I was mad at them because they said, but damn, I was tripping. And I get it. We've all been there in times where in situations we shouldn't have been in, trying to make that person love us. There's no need to make a person love you. They either do or they don't.
And from a counterpoint perspective, just real quick, from a counterpoint perspective, if you want to make it work, then you need to have a conversation with
that part. You're right.
Period. Like
right.
This notion of chances. Yeah. Like to me that's like loaded word because I don't really know what that means. Yeah. I know Jerrell, you probably know. But
unless it means maybe like you said, Dawon, like she hasn't been clear about what she wanted.
That's in my mind. That's kind of how I read it. It's like, okay, well then let's figure this thing out. Let's have an adult conversation. And listen, if we can't come to a meeting of the minds of like seeing this thing through, then give me the gift of letting me go. Or I'm gonna give you the gift of letting you go. And you know what? If you let it go and it comes back to you, then 5 years later, 5 months later, 5 seconds later, that's a blessing. But my advice would be, if anything, just have a conversation with this person and just lay it all out. Like, if you want to do something, if you want to be in a relationship with this person, you want to try to make a relationship work where you actually have titles and like there's commitment, whatever it needs to look like. I mean, it doesn't have to be a traditional relationship, in that sense. You can determine what the terms are of your relationships that you want. We had talked about that a couple of episodes ago, but for your own sake of mind, have the piece of the clarity of the conversation, and then you can make up your mind instead of like saying, "Oh, well, I'm gonna just give him one more chance." And meanwhile, in his mind, he like, "I didn't even know I was given a chance. I thought we was just going out for popcorn."
and I would say, and my piece, and I would say this to just anybody: just whenever you're dating someone, you're getting to know someone. You also have to make sure, and it's the hardest things to do, is to check your expectations and making sure that you don't let your emotions control your expectations. Because as soon as you get emotionally involved, that's when you stop being able to be logical with your actions and how things affect you. Because there are times where the communication or one person has said, "This is what I'm looking for," but then we get caught up and then we start to want more, but that's on you, So like you have to also make sure, and that's just you, but everyone, you got to make sure that you understand your expectations and you're clear with what you are looking for, because trying to bring what you're looking for to the table and it's complete opposite than the other person, it's just not going to work. It's just, you're going to be on 2 separate pages, So I just say, just be honest with yourself as far as what you're looking for. And if you're able to adjust your expectations, meaning that you step back and be like, you know what, cool. We're just friends. We're just kicking it. It's just casual. Then cool. Then operate at that space, But if you're looking to go through something more than that with some substance, a title of some sort, then like Dawon said, you have to have that conversation with him and it needs to be, this is where we're going, or we're going this way. And you both have to be on the same page, whether it's this way or that way. You both have to be on the same page, and that might require you to take a couple steps back or just completely remove yourself from the situation. But that is on you. It's not going to be on the other person, especially if they're being clear with you.
And you know what? I want to underscore the fact that having that kind of conversation takes courage.
For sure.
Because like I don't want to give the impression that like we're just saying this stuff like it's easy to do, because it's not.
That's how people ghost. That's how people ghost.
Right. Exactly. We are the most non-communicative generation that has ever existed on this goddamn planet that had the capability of speaking. And
I don't know, because we all know we got Papa was a Rolling Stone. Clearly he wasn't communicating either.
Well, but at least there was some conversations happening. We will not have it. We will avoid having it. We don't even have the communication skills, which is why we have Ask Your Aunties. Right. You know, but like we're the most tea leaves reading generation that's out there. We want to read the signs. We want to look for like, you know,
Mercury
it's spiritual Sunday.
Right. What's your moon and your sun sign?
I want to see what my motivational Monday's talking about today. That's going to tell me what I need to do. Like at the end of the day, this kind of like stress and anxiety could be absolved, you know, or resolved, you know, by a conversation. The risk that you run in the conversation is the fantasy world that you have been living, that we all at one point have been living in and enjoying, because it's like, you know, if I don't say nothing, then nothing's going to go wrong. And at least I have this, you know, I won't be by myself or whatever. Like we've all had those thoughts. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, you know, this is easy to do. There is significant risk that's associated with this. But if you want peace, don't give people quote unquote chances, especially if they don't even know that they didn't have chance number one. Like let's just have put your big girl panties on.
Ooh, the granny ones.
Look, let's just have a real conversation. I just want to see where your head's at, and I want to show you where my head's at, and let's see if we can come somewhere in the middle. Meet somewhere in the middle.
She want to come in the middle. I know that's right. Me too, boo.
You probably coming all over the place.
Skeet, motherfucker. Oh, skeet. I know that's right. Shit. But the word "too many chances," the one that got me, is like, shit, you don't get, you knew better. So we'll see. Let us know what the conversation, if you have the conversation, let us know what came out of it, and we'll give an update on Ask Your Aunties. So continue.
I hope for the best. I honestly hope that it works out. Like I hope that they have the courage to have the conversation, and you know, they come to a meeting of the minds about what a path forward can look like for the two of you. It might not be that you're in a relationship that very second, but it could be a path towards a relationship, especially if you two have, you know, an open and honest conversation about what's important for you and how you want to be in each other's lives, and if that's a possibility. And at least from that point, you can make an educated decision based on what, you know, this person is telling you back, you know, as to whether or not it's going to work for you.
Preach. So continue to send your Ask Your Aunties to us. So DM seems to be the easiest way for a lot of folks. So you can email us at aya@minorityareport.com. And if you're hearing this conversation, let us know an update. We love to share updates if you want us to. But let us know what you decide to do, and hopefully it's happily ever after, one way or the other, but this person or somebody else. So
right.